Chief Master Sergeant William Kelvin Charlie Mike Markham is a longtime Air Force Special Operations Command flight professional. He started his career in security forces, transitioned into combat control, and served as three-time command chief over a three-decade career. Growing up as a self-proclaimed normal child in Waukesha, Wisconsin, Kelvin would go on to lead an extraordinary career in the United States Air Force. Charlie Mike enlisted on his 18th birthday in 1986. He excelled in law enforcement at Mather Air Force Base, California, and Ramstein Air Base, Germany, before cross-training into combat control in 1992. Markham served for many years in the 23rd and 21st Special Tactics Squadrons and has an extensive operational background, including advanced skills as a Joint Terminal Attack Controller, freefall and static line jump master, as well as a combat dive supervisor. He deployed in support of many contingencies and special operations missions during Operations Resolute Support, Enduring Freedom, New Dawn, Iraqi Freedom, and many, many more. Notably, in 2001, he was the first airman in Afghanistan as the combat controller attached to Operational Detachment Alpha 555, the famed Triple Nickel. In a little over a month, he directed multiple airstrikes involving over 175 aircraft sorties, destroying 450 enemy vehicles and eliminating over 3,500 enemy troops. His efforts directly led to the liberation of Kabul and the surrender of hundreds of Al-Qaeda and Taliban forces. Over the next 15 years, Chief Markham would serve as command chief on 3 separate occasions, using his extensive knowledge of combat operations to prepare airmen for an emergent type of warfare. In 2016, Chief Master Sergeant Markham retired, but continued to support his special operations brethren.
But the main thing is that, I was walked through the system and came out. I started with my retirement about a couple months right after retirement. I was 80% comp and pen. And you'll see I don't use the word disability because I don't believe I'm disabled. I think compensation and pension, just like anybody retiring or getting out of another job, they receive their compensation and pension for the job they did. And we look at compensation and pension as something like, this is, the military rented me. I was really fortunate. I was 80%. A couple months later, I got bumped up to 90% because all of my records were going through. And then later I was 100%. And it was just kind of overwhelming. About 18 months later, I go in for a compensation and pension examination. I'm having a great day. I'm working at a nonprofit at the time. Things went great for me after retirement. I got no complaints. And so I showed up to the appointment and I had a great day. In fact, it was down at Cape Coral, a brand new clinic down in Cape Coral, Florida. In fact, I got there early. I took a little nap outside the clinic, and immediately when I walked in, a nurse was running down a checklist, just as we would for any type of operation. Hey, Mr. Markham, how are you feeling today? Man, I feel great. In fact, you'll always hear me say, outstanding, because again, nobody cares. It's a
Yep.
hypothetical question. Nobody cares how you're doing. They're just saying it. So I'm doing outstanding, go in for my range of motions and everything. And of course, I'm on a lot of medications now, after I retired. That POVAT, the pressure on the force and family, the physical therapist I had there before, the strength coach I had there, all the things we had in special operations, that came about after 9/11 and then got really good in 2010. And then at my peak in 2016, when I retired, all those things I had to keep my mind and body healthy, no longer. So now I'm 18 months out. Now I'm really starting to feel the psychological effects of the being retired. I'm really starting to feel the physical effects of being retired. But again, nobody cares. And so I just thought I was good. And in 7 minutes, that nurse had determined that I had gotten better, both psychologically and physically. Yep, I had gotten better. 3 months later, I get a letter from the VA saying, congratulations, Mr. Markham. I mean, it didn't say congratulations, but it said, hey, we've determined that through this last CMP exam, you've gotten better. And I was reduced. And man,
Wow.
You talk about a world of hate, pain, anger. I mean, name the shitty feeling that you can think of, man. And that all fell down on me, man. That fell down on my shoulders. I was no longer going to have the health care from the VA because I was at a percentage that wouldn't allow it. And I was, going to lose on the compensation and pension. And
the creation of POVAT came upon a circumstance that I went through. At the time, I couldn't believe I was going through it, but everything happens for a reason. Everything is put in our lap. People are put into our lives, but everything happens for a reason. I believe that I was unfairly judged my compensation and pension rating from the Veterans Administration. And it put me into a position that I was not healthy. I was not in the right state of mind. I was not in the right state of health. The organization had to be developed because I was fortunate enough. I had good friends around me that were willing to take the fight to the enemy. And I use the word enemy as anything that's opposing to you. But it took a team of professional individuals to be able to show the VA that this was not right. That a veteran has a team of individuals, highly specialized, highly motivated, that are going to go to fight to the enemy for them and provide them the best services available to get the compensation and pension that they have earned and deserve. That's what Project OVAT means to me.